In today's video, Ruud van Lent is going to show us how to make an article paywall on your Joomla site. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 210. Always look down. I never remember. Here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. I also work on Joomla sites, build them, maintain them, migrate them to Joomla 4. So if you're looking to hire someone short-term or long-term, or even to get you out of spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and let's talk. Today's video is brought to you by our channel sponsor, mysites.guru. Do you have a Joomla site? Of course you do. Head on over to Joomla, mysites.guru, get a free site audit for it, and check out all the tools and information that will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites. All right, everybody, it's my pleasure to welcome Ruud back. As you can see, he's just in a little tiny box above me right now, but we'll fix that in a second. And I had a client, someone who's helping with the site a few weeks ago, say that he wished that he could find a good article paywall for his website. And I thought, I wonder where there is one. And anyways, immediately Ruud popped into mind, and I contacted him because he's got some really great extensions for blogging and articles, and that I've used on a client site before, and asked him about it. And then he's been busy the last couple of weeks putting that together and setting things up. So he's here to show us. Now I'm going to switch to gallery. Hey, look at that. I'm learning Zoom. It's only been a few years. Ruud, welcome. Glad that you're here today.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Thank you for having me.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, I had Yannick Gauthier on the stream, and I was talking about how he has been on the channel the most of anyone else. And now that we were just talking and I did some looking, this is also your third time, so you're tied with Yannick for a number of appearances here on the live stream, which sort of like it's not a big thing as how many times you've hosted Saturday Night Live. I know there's, but still, I appreciate it, and it's always great content when I have people on that are smarter than me. So that is really good. So maybe if you want to just for those that maybe don't know, you give a quick introduction, and we got lots of time today, so we'll probably talk about some other things or hang out afterwards. But who are you?
Yes, well, my name is Ruud. Ruud van Lent. I'm from the Netherlands, and I've been doing Joomla stuff for a long time. I don't know exactly which version it started, but in the beginning for creating websites, some hobby websites. And then I also started a blog site, a professional one, because I used to be in the interim management business, so change management and interim leadership. And I ran a blog site for that, and that was a Joomla site. And although Joomla is a very good content management system, in my opinion, it was missing some things that would make it a great blog system. And of course you had extensions like K2 or EasyBlog, but at that time I didn't like those very much because it felt like a vendor lock-in. You know, you create your content in that extension, and then you're hooked into that extension, and it's not a Joomla article anymore. So I decided to create some extensions myself, and currently that's the main part of my business. So we're creating extensions. All extensions I create, I use myself, and an occasional extension I create for Tim, like the OCH Lightbox extension, which I now use myself as well.
Yes, that works with your OCH responsive images, but I had a client that wanted he wanted a fast loading site, but he also wanted, when people clicked on images, the full resolution Retina eye Apple, just crazy wide images. He wanted it full, and of course, a lot of if you put a big image into an article, it's really nice that OCH responsive images will resize it and make something that's appropriate for the device you're viewing it on. But then if you click to open up the full version, you wouldn't get the absolute full one. But Ruud programmed that, so now you've got a really fast loading image. But if you click on it, it opens up, and it opens up this massive image thing. So that was great. Yeah, so that's what he programmed for my for my clients. So that was good.
Yeah, and that was fun. That was also fun to do. And we just talked about it, and it is already 3 years ago. So
yes, that's amazing. Well, I'm getting older. You're getting younger because Ruud just shaved his beard off. We were talking about that. All right, let's say hi to everyone in chat here. We've got Bjorn, Ivor, Valerie, who's Creative World, Mary, Allison, Rick Spawn there. Alice and Rick say hi. Mary says thanks for being here. So I'm going to, I guess, how will this work here? I'm going to, I think I'm just going to hide myself again. How about that? And take it away.
Okay. Yeah, let's take it away by sharing my screen. Let's see. We practice that. And it was screen 2. Allow, and you should be seeing my screen now.
Yes, we can see it now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Tim contacted me some time ago, some weeks ago already. Anyway, it was before your holidays, Tim.
Yeah, it was about a month ago.
That I know about a month ago, and you asked me if it was possible with OCH Subscriptions. Which is an extension that I have for selling subscriptions on Joomla sites. So all my extensions that I sell and are also run via that subscription component. And you asked if it was possible to create an article paywall with that in Joomla. And
yeah,
I recall.
Yeah, because what my client's looking for is something that you can start to read it, but if you click the read more, it says, "Oh, would you like to buy a subscription to read the rest?"
Yeah. And then I actually told Tim, well, that's already possible in Joomla to create protected content that you can only watch when you have sufficient access rights. Only it's one of those Joomla features that are not always very obvious, and probably not many people are using them. So Joomla does a lot of it already out of the box, and it will prompt you with a register to view the content button, something like this. So the past weeks I've been fiddling with an extension with OCH subscriptions, so that it will take over that button and then show there buy this subscription to view this content button. So that's mainly what I want to showcase today. But I first want to go over some basics because I want to keep everybody on board, and not everybody has, so that we have the same basics and understanding about how things work in Joomla. So first we're going to look at an article's intro text and full text, which can be created with the read more functionality. We'll have a quick look at groups, access levels, and the difference between them. And some a hidden option somewhere completely down the list where it says show unauthorized links. So when we went through the basics, then I'm going to set up a course. So we're going to set up an online course via a Joomla article. that we are going to protect, so you can not access it, and then we are going to add the paywall functionality so that you can easily buy the subscription with which you can have access.
And just not to scare anybody off, when you say you're setting up a course, you said you're doing it via the Joomla article. So this isn't just for people selling courses. This could be a story about a picnic that you were on in an article.
This can be anything that you can do in Joomla. That has the possibility of view levels, so access rights. You can put behind the login, and therefore you can sell that. So you can even use the forum software, the Kunina forum, where you say, okay, this is free access, and if you want to access this, then you have to pay or buy a subscription, and then you get access to that part of the forum. Yeah, but I thought I'll let's create a course, because that's something that a lot of my customers started doing over the COVID period. They started selling their business, but then online. Okay, let's see. Intro text, full text, and read more. So when you open a new Joomla article in the editor, in the backend, then you only see one editor where you can input the article text. So all the content that you put into the article text, that's called the full text. Unless you add somewhere in that text a read more. And the read more, that will display as the red dotted line. Because what that will do is, when you save the article, it will actually save two types of content. It will save the part before the read more as intro text, and it will save the part behind the read more as the full text into the Joomla database. And this intro text has a special functionality because this is the text that is used on, for example, the featured view or the category block view, where you have the short description of the content. That's the part before the read more. So on the category block view, then you see probably the image of the article, your intro text, and then the read more that you created with read more button. Let's see. Okay, so I'll be starting to create the article in a minute, but I'll be using some of my own tools because that's for me way easier. We're going to do a YouTube video in there with the content, with the video content. For that I use OCH VidFits. And we'll be adding some styling with OCH Foundation, social media buttons we can put in there with OCH Socials, and under the hood, so you will not see me doing anything, but that is automatically done, is the open graph for social media sharing and the responsive images Tim also just mentioned, just to not get you confused about how is he doing that. Then you know. Okay. I'll be using a vanilla Joomla installation with my extensions already in them, and the Cassiopeia template, which I cannot pronounce.
No, that was pretty good.
Oh, cool. No, it's not.
Yeah, I wish that they had picked something that was easier to spell.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's start with creating a category, because then we can have a category course material. For example, no parent, published, public access. Save and close. So I created a category, Now, important is that I also create a menu item for that category, because that will give you a Ceph URL. Let's see. I'll just quickly take this one because it's already in there, and I say here.
And the Ceph URL, search engine friendly URL.
Yeah. Save as copy. Clear, select, and then select the one I just course material. And let's publish it. Save and close. So now we should have course material here on the front end, which is empty, of course. Okay. Now let's do an article. My new course. Let's see. Let's copy and paste something I've prepared. Title. We're going to learn you how to speak with Mother Nature. So this is going to be my intro text, because this is what I want people to see first, so that they have an impression of what this course is about. So that means that I now have to insert the read more. And here's the red dotted line. Okay. Let me just quickly I'll just quickly create an alert, a Bootstrap alert with some text in it.
And that's one of your extensions, the OCH Foundations.
Yeah. Excuse my typos. Let's save that. Let's see if that what that looks like. Oh, wait, I'll have to put it in the correct course material category. Here it is. And now you already see that we have the introduction text and the red line, which is now a read more, speaking with Mother Nature. So when I click this one, then I get this alert. Thanks for joining this course. Please read on, blah 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 blah. Which is cool. Okay, let's put in some content there. I'm going to put in the content in accordions. They should always show. Course summary. Let's see. Let's copy and paste something in there. We'll be doing 3. Okay. So this will be the course video. I'll put in here. Let's see, where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is. And as you can see, I just put in the iframe I copied from YouTube, the embed code. And what I additionally added is this code. And I will show you in a minute what that will look like. And then, of course, we also have the course handout. which is a PDF. PDF embed. Okay, so, oh, wait, I have it here already with the code. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Okay, cool. So I have my accordion with the course summary. I have the video, which doesn't automatically load because I selected it to click load the embedded media.
That gives you a faster page load, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gives you fast, and it's a privacy thing because it doesn't share anything with YouTube. Now it is sharing with YouTube because you fetch the URL and the YouTube browser, the video player. And here we have the course handout. And also this is a click to load the embedded PDF. And this is really nice because when you have a page with, for example, 10 PDFs, each 10 megabytes, then every time that page loads, you'll load 100 megabytes because the PDF is automatically loading the way Joomla default handles PDFs. And this one doesn't do that. This one just gives you this overview, and when I click it, then it starts loading the PDF. Yeah, and it loads in a real PDF viewer. This is the Mozilla PDF viewer. So
Okay.
This will also work on mobile, because normally on mobile, when you have an embedded PDF, it will not show. It will prompt you to download it. That's a mobile thing. And with this one, you can even do cool things like like this. Put in a signature in there or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is going to be my the course material. Now let me just quickly save and close this one, and I'll create another menu item for this. Where is it? What was it here? And then new for this specific. I'll call it Mother Nature. Select article. Single article.
Okay, so that one you're linking directly to the article.
Yeah, that's not necessarily because it already has a URL, but it's just for demoing. And let's put that onto where is it? Course material. Save and close. So now I have course material, and I can directly access this. Okay, so far so good. So my content is ready, but it's visible for everybody. So let's now talk about the other basic thing. That's groups and access levels, and just to get everybody on the same page. So when you are a visitor of a website, you are here at one, and you want to see content, then you ask Joomla, show me that content. And what Joomla will do is it will check the user if he is a member of a specific user group, of which user groups he is member. Next, it will check the content has an access level. Is this user group allowed to view this access level? If yes, then you go to 3 and the content is served to you. If no, then you'll get an error message saying you're not allowed to do that. So the user is part of a user group, and the content, and in this case it's the article, has an access level. Oh, wait a minute. So let's see what we can do here. So first, what I will do is I'll go to the users groups, and I will create a user group for this course, and I'll call it course material, and it's a subgroup of registered. Okay. Now I create the access level for it. That's also in the user manager. Access level premium course, I'll call it. Yeah. And then I configure which user groups do have access to this access level. And then I say, okay, the users that are in the group, assigned to the group course material, that should have viewing access. And for administration purposes, you can also put in there the administrator or whatever, so that as an administrator you always have access to the content. But for demonstration purposes here, I'll leave it at the course material. Okay, so now I close that. So now I have an access level that I can assign. Well, basically in two places. I can assign the access level to the category. So I can set the access level on the course material, and then it will be inherited by all articles in this category. Or you can set the access level on the article itself, which makes it great because you can have different access levels. You can have a premium subscription or a regular subscription or whatever that have different access levels.
Or an access level, for every single individual course that you have, if you want to sell one at a time. Yeah. Remember that you also have to manage that. I'll set the access to the access level I just created, the AL Premium course. I'll save this one. Go back here, and then he says, I'm going to the course material. There's nothing. I go to the Mother Nature, and he says, you don't have permission to access this, which is correct because I'm a visitor, and the only access level I have is public, and I need the one I just added here. Let's see. Okay, so the third basic one, the unauthorized links, and this is the one that is doing all the magic, because articles that are protected by an access level, they are hidden for visitors or users that do not have sufficient access. That's what we just saw. It didn't show in the category view, and when I went into it directly, it said you're not allowed to do that. But, and here is a but, in the global article options, you can enable the unauthorized links option. And what that will do is not give you access to the complete article, but it will give you access to the intro text. Yeah, I did not know about that setting.
Yeah, nobody does. So I'm in the article manager. I go into options, and then here in articles, and then you scroll down, and then you say unauthorized links. Yeah, it doesn't say anything to me, and in fact it's one of the few which actually does have some inline help. So if set to yes, links to registered content, and that's what we made, registered content, so content with an access level will be shown even if you're not logged in. You will need to log in to access the full item. Okay, so I've set unauthorized links to yes. Save. I'm still in the article. When I do a refresh, it says, hey, So now I'm allowed to see the intro text, what this course is about, and it tells me this is Joomla default functionality, register to read more, which can be overwritten with a language string.
Yeah, that's crazy. That also gives Google access to spider your content that's there.
Yeah, correct. And when you click this, then you're prompted with, you need to access this. Now, this will not work because my user account is not on the correct access list. But when I set my user, let's do this. Let's do it. I'm a registered user and I'm an author, but I'm also now adding myself to the course material. Save. Yeah, saved. And now I log in. Hey, voila! I can see the course.
Oh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So basically, you have here a cheap paywall. And so you have the means, and it's Joomla core. This you can do with every Joomla site. A means of creating protected content. I'm going to log out.
Now that show unauthorized links, you can override that at the article level, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because you might have things that you want to see, but let's suppose you put a directory for a membership list on, and you had it accessible to only certain groups. You would want to go into the articles in the article settings, turn that off for that.
Yeah, it's a global setting, so it's not per article.
Yeah.
But let me check that. Maybe you can set it per menu, because I created the Mother Nature menu item for the article. And let's see if it's here. Here it is. It's taking the global one, which is yes, and I can do here no yes or no. You can override it in the menu.
Great.
For the article.
Yeah.
And you can override it also in the category block view somewhere. Unauthorized links.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you can
article settings, yes, no. So it's very flexible. Very flexible.
Once again, I'm glad I showed up.
Me too, because otherwise we would be broadcasting a very dark
yeah.
screen. So what did I do? Where did I leave off? Okay. So this is for the unauthorized links. This is really cool. Let's take this one step further. Because what OCH Subscriptions allows you to do is it allows you to sell subscriptions. And it allows you to sell subscriptions to anything. So also to content. And it's a featured packed component. So it's not only that you can purchase a subscription, but you can also have renewals, upgrades. So you can have a basic subscription, and then you can offer an upgrade to a premium subscription with extra rights. When the subscription is about to expire, you can have OCH subscription sent automatically, have it send emails, and give your customer, for example, a discount when he renews before it expires. It will do VAT and vice checks, very important when you're in Europe. And you can pay with PayPal, Stripe, and Money. It integrates with AC mailing, which is really cool. It has a content handling plugin. And in that one, I added the Paywall functionality and the cross-sell module. So it's a really complete thing. So sorry for advertising, but
No, that's all right. That's why, I wish more people would come on and advertise their stuff while they're showing it. I'm all cool with that.
yeah. Well, and the
You
most
know,
important thing is,
it says in the Bible, don't muzzle the mouth of the ox that treads the grain. So,
yeah. And the best part is, and that's something that I'm always trying to do, this is 100% built on Joomla. So you can sell anything that Joomla can handle. So you can sell content, but if you have a download component or from another developer which is able to upload and share downloads to people that have access to it, you can sell subscriptions to that as well. And the reason for that is that it works like this. Here is your potential customer. He subscribes to a product, which is an OCH subscriptions product. And when he subscribes to it, a subscription is made. And when the subscription is made in the system, this is very simple. It will add that customer to the user group that you've configured for this product. So what I just did manually, add myself to the user group course material, that is then done automatically after the customer paid for the product. Now, when the subscription expires, he is removed from the user group, and he doesn't, and then he doesn't have access anymore because he's not part of that user group anymore, and it's not part of that access list level anymore. So this sounds very simple, but this is really, really powerful because this is 100% Joomla functionality. Joomla is the engine beyond, is it secure? Can people access it? Is there a way around it? That's not up to OCH subscriptions. That's up to Joomla.
Ruud, Bjorn just asked, is it auto-renewable?
It's not auto-renewable. And that's mainly because, I don't like auto-renewals. And the difficulty with auto-renewals is that every payment provider has its own implementation on how to renew. So, for example, PayPal, then you need a user to give you some sort of token that you need to store, and that needs to be checked and Stripe does it in another way. So that's very difficult to implement.
Does it send out reminders to people that their subscription's ending? Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah. And these reminders you can configure yourself. You can have an unlimited amount of reminders. You can say 30 days before it expires, I'll send out a reminder and I'll give you a coupon for a 25% discount. 14 days before it expires, I'll send you another reminder with also 25%. 2 days before it expires, then I'll send you your last reminder, and this 30, 14, and 2 days, that can be any number of days, and etc. So that's all configurable.
And you need to, Valerie's asked, will Ruud need to develop unique extensions for various different payment gateways?
Yeah, and I did.
Okay, so far there's Stripe.
I did an extension for PayPal. I did one for Stripe. And I did one for Molly, which is it's a Dutch and it's big in Europe, and for me it's a very cheap one because when I sell an extension and somebody pays with PayPal, then PayPal deducts 5 to 7% of the amount. So that's their pay.
So if someone needed something else, they could pay you to program it, possibly.
That's possible. That's possible.
Okay.
Yeah. If that payment gateway has an API, then I can develop something for it. That's also how I did Stripe, because one of my customers asked if I could do Stripe. Yeah.
No.
So I investigated it, and I think, well, that's a really cool payment gateway. It's cheaper than PayPal.
Yeah.
It's better when it comes to credit cards, etc., etc. So that's possible. Okay, but this is in the basics how OCH subscription works, and the important part is that it's 100% security is 100% Joomla. I do not fiddle with that. I do not overwrite anything. I just hook into what Joomla is already doing. So when you have a complete curriculum with courses and access rights, and you say, well, okay, I don't like OCH subscriptions, which I cannot imagine, and you say, let's get rid of it and do another one, then you lose nothing of your content. You lose nothing of your access rights. You do not lose any customer, any user account. It's all Joomla, Joomla, Joomla.
Yeah, because I'm almost ready to release Tim's subscriptions. But in my version, yeah, come on, don't laugh too hard, you don't hurt my feelings. But yeah, in my version, it just shows my phone number, and you call me, and I take your credit card number and do all this manually.
Yeah. And in your version, you have auto renewals.
Yeah, because I write down your credit card number and keep it in a folder here on my desk.
Yeah. Okay. Well, back to the presentation. So we've set up the Joomla part. So now let's set up the OCH subscription part. OCH subscriptions. Okay, comes with a control panel. This control panel is nothing more or less than shortcuts to my plugins. So here, for example, you see OCH Simple Firewall, which is a plugin that was the first plugin that I demoed on your YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
This is the OCH G Lightbox. So I can access this here in a pop-up, or I can go to System Plugins, OCH. I can access them, where is it? OCH G Lightbox. It's the same. It's only not in the pop-ups. So for me, this is easier. Yep. Okay. Now, let's first make a product. Add your first product. Let's do it. What's the product name? Oh, wait a minute. We're going to sell a premium membership. How much does it cost, Tim, for this beautiful course? Do you have a suggestion?
Oh, it's you just pick a number.
Let's do 100.
There you go.
Okay. Then you pick the VAT rate, which can be a standard rate, a reduced rate, or exempt, which is 0. Let's keep it at standard. And here you can say, okay, for how long will this subscription be valid? So let's just keep it at 1 year. Let's have an image somewhere. I think here. Products. Select. Description. Okay. The product has a teaser, which is a very short description. That's shown in some place. It has a short description. It's something like the intro text and a long description. Okay, and then before the intro text, I'll add the social buttons. As you can see, I really like using tags. Okay, now for the configuration part. The user groups. So when your customer buys this product, to which user groups should he be added? And here are the user groups that we've configured, and here is course material. And now the really cool part is, which makes this very powerful, is when the subscription expires, from which user group should he then be removed? Also from course material. Which is the same. So you just strip him away from the rights he got. But you can also say, okay, when somebody buys the product, I'll give him access to another group as well. And when his subscription expires, he'll be something like an alumni. So he still needs to have access, but not all rights. So I'll remove the access to the course material, but I'll keep him as an author because I don't remove here the author. So that's something that you can do. For the discounts, you can configure them in the global configuration, but you can deviate here as well per product. Here is, for example, the renewal. I want when somebody renews his discount, I can say, okay, you'll give him a 10% discount for this product. And the expiration discounts, that's what we just talked about. So I can give somebody 25%, 31 days, and send him a reminder. So 31 days, he will get a reminder and a coupon for 25%. Well, let's do it 20% on 14 days. And you can see this is and 10%. The later he renews, the less discount he gets. And this list can be very long.
Yeah, Valerie says that is indeed very cool and powerful. She's talking about this extension. And Allison says bonus points to Ruud for sending reminders far enough ahead to give her a chance to build a client for renewal. Yeah.
Actually, these three are the ones that I use myself, not the percentages. The percentage is the same. It's because I value my customers, and I don't want to feel them trapped. Oh my God, I was just 2 weeks late, and now I get less discount. You always get this 25, I think it is. But this could also be 61 days ahead. So that's all possible. It can be done globally, or you can do this per product. Now the cool thing here is, and this is a plugin that you can also add customers to an AC mailing list. So when he subscribed to the premium membership, then I'll add him automatically to the newsletter and to the premium membership newsletter. And when he's removed, then I'll remove him from the premium membership newsletter so that he won't get any updates, but I don't remove him from the newsletter. So that's also possible. It's really, really powerful.
Yeah, or you could even make that the object of what you're selling as the subscription to the ACY mailing list.
Yeah. So when now somebody buys a premium membership, he'll be added to the newsletter list of AC mailing. And you can have unlimited amount of lists in AC mailing. They will all show up, and you can configure it here as you like. And what I use this for my own extensions is that every extension has its own AC mailing list, so that when I do an update to an extension, then I can send a change log to the people saying, hey, I've just updated this extension. This is the change log. Please note that you should do this or not should do that, etc., etc. So I can communicate with the people very directly per extension. So per product in my case. And you can even, this can also have an access level, but I set it to public because you want to have visitors buy it, but you can also have a premium membership, which is only available to people who have already purchased the premium course, for example. So very, very flexible. Let's save this. Let's see how this looks. Somewhere OCH subscriptions, the downloads. Let's see. Okay, here it is. So the image I put in, the teaser text, more information and buy now. And this is all configured. It says now that the number 100 is without VAT. The amount can also be including VAT, so that's all configurable. And when you go here, then you see. Oh, I missed the yes. Let me just quickly. I created, especially for this, I created. Hoppa. So now people can tweet, share, toot, you know, Mastodon. I think I'm the only one having a Mastodon in it.
Yeah, possibly. That's true too. I just laugh because my family doesn't want me to toot.
Yeah.
They're tired of it.
I'm not asking Tim. No. Okay. So I go to Migrating, and it still says here register to read. Yeah, sure, because we still have to go to the control panel, and there I have this OCH Subscriptions Tools Content plugin, which now has this paywall functionality. So I enable it.
Okay, and that's what you just developed.
This is what I just developed.
You're the man.
Especially for you, Tim. You're the man. No, you're the man. Okay, so I enable it on the article view. And then I can configure, should you still show the read more? No, I don't want to show the read more. I want to replace the read more. And should it show the product card or should it show a link to the product? Now, I want to show the product card in this case. Okay, so let's see how this looks. I'll refresh the page. Hoppa! And here it is.
Wow.
Speaking with Mother Nature. Welcome.
That is awesome.
Subscribe to the following products to get access to this content. And then you can say, okay, cool, I want that. And then it's in your basket, and then you can say, I'm a returning customer, I'm a new customer, and you fill in all the details. Pay here with PayPal. And then off you go. You'll get a nice invoice. And the next time you log in, you have been added to the group.
Wow.
With the correct to the course material.
That's great. Is VAT really 21%?
VAT in the Netherlands is 21%. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But when you buy something from me, it's without VAT.
Yeah.
Because you're outside of the EU.
Yeah.
So.
That is that. Oh, there you go. Subscribe to premium membership to get access.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the category block view. Let's see. I can trigger that. I've enabled it on the category block view. I can disable it. Save. And then that's back to normal.
Okay.
So that's the regular Joomla view. And I say, okay, I want to also enable it on the category block view. Do you want to show the read more? No. Do you want to show the product card? Yes. Save. And then he will do the same.
Now,
and of course I didn't do the CSS styling.
Yeah, that's right. If you show the read more and that product, and they click on the read more, what does it? It just says that they have to register.
Yeah. So let's see. then you say you can subscribe to get access or register to read more.
Okay, and if they click on that, then it says it's not available.
Yeah, they will redirect it to the login screen.
Okay.
They log in and then they are redirected back to where they came from.
Okay.
So there is probably some use case in there for people who are not logged in but already purchased your subscription. That's then a shortcut to the login screen.
Yeah. Well, in that case, if you're showing both, you could say log in to read the rest, and then you could change the read more.
Okay. Well, and the same I can do for the featured view. So I've enabled it on the featured view. Let's see. And the featured view is on the site. Let's remove these default featured ones. Unfeature. And let's feature this one. So now my front page, which is the featured view in this demo, will have Speaking with Mother Nature, subscribe to premium as well. So it's the featured view, the category block view, and the article itself. That you can now have this this product too.
Okay.
Okay. And now I'm going to show off. Sorry.
That's all right.
Because I also have OCH Blog. And let's enable that for the course material. Nope. Why is it not doing that? Because I created the content as, that's not good, as my super user. And I should have done that as Ruud. Save. Okay, now that's not completely correct. Oh, here it is, here it is. So it will add my new avatar, Tim. You see it, without beard.
Yep.
Written by Ruud van Lent. So that I can promote the trainer, for example, who can have then his own, in this case it's an alpha profile, but it can also be a mentor profile or a teacher profile or whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, and your OCH blog I think, is the best layout for blogs and articles of anything in Joomla. So I've said that before. So
yeah, and now you see the real power, because this is nothing changed. It uses 100% Joomla. It just adds, it adds styling. And if you don't like it anymore and want to have another blog component, you just delete it and you don't lose your content. It's still content, so articles. And I have a lot of customers who are making the move to Joomla 4, and a lot of them are coming from K2, and it's really a nightmare, Not only creating all the categories, the content, the custom fields, it's really a nightmare to get everything out of K2 again, to get everything out of EasyBlog again, back into Joomla, because they are very keen on getting it into K2. They have an import function, but they don't have an export. Unfortunately. With OCH Blog, you don't have that issue because it works on content. So that's it. How am I doing in time, Tim?
Oh, you're doing fine.
Oh,
it's only
that's a first.
Yeah, just no, it's fine. No, that's great. People start to drop off. That's fine.
Okay.
That is really cool, and I really like the back end is really clean. You're using the Joomla back end, and it's sort of just nice and clear, and just stepping through setting it up, and that is neat. And of course, you can do your styling and custom CSS and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
For what you want.
Well, it's clean because when I go to the options of OCH subscriptions, this is 100% Joomla.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't write anything myself, so this is Joomla out of the box. And here you can set your discounts globally, your VAT, what to do with it. This is all basic Joomla functionality.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So it's not something like AC mailing, which looks like WordPress, which is very annoying for me.
Well, they also ACY mailing also works on WordPress, so.
Yeah. So they've have the same interface, and I understand why they do it, but my customers don't understand it. They say, "Why does that look different?"
Yeah.
And now I have to find out how this all works again, because they have this, and that's not core Joomla. Joomla does it in a different way. So it's not to bash AC mailing, because I use it a lot.
No.
It's one of, but just to say that I try to stick as much as possible to Joomla, which is for me as a developer also very easy, because when there is an issue, then Joomla will fix it, and then it will be automatically fixed for me.
Yeah. Mary says she really loves that it completely integrates with the Joomla core.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very nice and light. I will say those boxes are pretty big. I hate scrolling to find things.
Yeah, this is still. I'm also not very satisfied with this. You can also see them here.
Yeah. Valerie says, so it will work when Joomla 5 comes out. Yes. And actually, you know what? Joomla 5 is not supposed to break anything. So in Joomla 4, it's a non-breaking release. But we can probably talk about that. And there's something else I thought we could talk about as a topic, but we'll finish this up. I really, listen, I have so many ideas for plugins and ideas for extensions and features and that. And I just get a special thrill whenever one of them actually happens. And that's twice that you've done something really custom. And I think this Paywall is really a cool feature because just for those of us that want to make some income from our sites or have something to sell, and like you said, your clients during the pandemic wanted to start doing stuff online, it's empowering for people who are let's see, let's put me in here too. We'll be tiny down the side here. It's powerful for people who are looking to try to make some money on the side or start to get something going, a side hustle, or and it's powerful for those of us that are making web pages, then find people that want to sell things online, and to be able to say that, I've had people say, "Oh, I would like it someday if I could have it where people have to have a membership to log in." And I say, "Oh yeah, that's already there. That'd be very easy to do." And for them it seems hard, but here, because of Joomla and because of great extension developers like you, we can just do that. We can just we can punch heavier than our weight.
Yep, correct.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much for that. We're going to keep talking here, but that wraps up for that topic. So I thought, and you have no idea that I was going to talk about this, but I think one of the so now are you scared? Let's see.
No, I'm not.
I'm going to leave the screen share on there because I think it's interesting for us, not only people working and building Joomla sites, but have our own Joomla sites, or whether we're doing it for money or for free for ourselves. You have recently made the decision to discontinue some of your extensions, and I think some of the reasons and some of the dynamics of that are probably things that people in the community should be aware of. So I guess, there you go. You're going to them. What for you as an extension developer? what are some of the factors that go into when you decide to discontinue a product?
Yeah, continuing a product is always a lot of work. So basically, where it boils down to is the business case.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because when it's not generating enough income for itself, then it's time, yeah, to kill your darlings, as they say,
Yeah.
in the Netherlands. And that's sometimes that's easy, because I had this OCH social slide version, and I have a paid one which is not discontinued. But the light version doesn't have Mastodon, doesn't have Pinterest. It has a basic set of a limited set of functionality, and that was used a lot. And the way I saw it, and this was actually my first plugin, was, well, let's use it as a sort of giveaway. Yeah, mm-hmm. To build up at least a mailing list, or to get a name in the Joomla ecosystem, in the Joomla community. But then what I learned is that actually doesn't work. So what will happen, and what happened, is that people start providing fake email addresses, start bashing you when something doesn't work. It's for the main part, it was awful.
Okay. Wow.
So that's where I said this year, okay, I'll stop with my free extensions, because it's not motivating. Let's put it political correct way. It's not motivating to have these free extensions. And my extensions were priced at a very low price. And I did that especially because I wanted to have as many people as possible enjoy my extensions, not per se to have as much as possible revenue. And I thought, well, when I'm in the Netherlands, but somebody in India, at 10 euro he can eat for that amount. He can eat a whole week, mm-hmm. And for me it's one sandwich. So I want to keep these prices low so that everybody can enjoy. But that as well didn't work, because the people that bought it, they had raving reviews, and they always ended in, "It's too cheap for what you get."
Yeah. So the reason we last week on the live stream, we were just kind of hanging out and catching up on some things, and we were looking at the site killed by Google, and there's like over 200 things that they have discontinued. And it's important for, and those are business decisions, right? Whether, we said, obviously each one of those things, there's probably people really disappointed they were gone. But it's important for people to remember that extension developers like yourself, you eat every day, right? And you're apparently you're eating 10 euro sandwiches every day. But
I always go out for dinner.
But it is a business thing there, and you've got kids, you've got life, you've got you don't want to just sit all day and hammer out just a subsistence living. And then the other dynamic too, when people are giving you a hard time, because sometimes the web brings out the worst of people sometimes, especially when there's anonymity, and so that's.
But when you look, for example, at OCH Blog, that was a J3 extension, mm-hmm. And then Joomla 4 came out, and that basically meant that I had to decide that I had to put an effort to make all my extensions J4 ready. And there are two ways to do that. You can put in less effort, and then you have an extension that works both on Joomla 3 and on Joomla 4. So it works on Joomla 4, but basically it's a Joomla 3 extension. Or you redo it almost completely, and then you have a very fast, fully fledged Joomla 4 extension, the way Joomla 4 was designed to do it, with new namespacing, classes, auto-loading, all the nice stuff that nobody sees, but for a developer are very, very exciting. So that's one decision. When I migrate the extension from Joomla 3 to Joomla 4, I immediately lose 90% of my customers. Because that's what happened. Joomla 4 came out, and we are already almost a year out on Joomla 4. And when I look in my download log for updates, 90% are downloading it for Joomla 3 sites. So for me, migrating it to Joomla 4, to a core Joomla 4 extension, wasn't an option, because then I had two extensions to maintain,
right.
The Joomla 3 version and the Joomla 4 version, which is too much work.
Yeah.
But now Joomla 5 comes along. So now I'm faced again with the same decision. Should I support Joomla 5? And what they do now is that actually they do the same thing functionally as what they did with Joomla 4. So Joomla 4 can still run Joomla 3 extensions, only not optimal. So when you have an extension that works on Joomla 4, it will run on Joomla 5, but not optimal. If you want it optimal, then you have to rewrite it again with all the new features that Joomla 5 brings to the table. And for me, this is really important, because when you have a customer who has I call it a brochure site. So a site with 3 articles, this is what I do, this is what you can hire me for, and this is my contact info. Yeah, that will always work. But I have customers with over 200,000 articles. So when my extension doesn't perform, that site stops working. So it's important to always keep your code as lean and as secure and as maintained as possible. So that's again something that I need to invest a lot of time in. So OCH Blog, I rewritten it to a full Joomla 4 version, and that took me 80 hours. Yeah, and then you can calculate how much sandwiches I could have bought for those 80 hours.
I have to calculate how many sandwiches you ate during those 80 hours.
No, but also how many subscriptions should be sold for that extension just to break even. And that's the difficult. That's one of the things that I think many developers are facing, and that's also, I think, the reason why a lot of extensions are abandoned, because the developers just don't get the revenue again for the work they put in. The only annoying thing is that they leave it on the jet and they still sell it, and then it doesn't work or it breaks something, and then people are complaining, well, I've contacted the developer and he doesn't respond anymore. Yeah, I know he's out of business, but he didn't tell it to anybody, so he's not going to support it anymore. And that's the downside of Joomla 4, and now for Joomla 5 I hope that will be a little bit lesser downside. And a lot of my customers are still waiting with Joomla 3 until Joomla 5 comes out.
Yeah,
so they're not moving to Joomla 4.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I mean 4 to 5 is pretty vanilla as far as it just working. At least that's sort of what I've been seeing. So there's the whole marketing side of the version thing as well, which I think, like, in getting to know you as a developer, and talking business with you and things like that. It's clear that when you talk about, like you mentioned, all the things that developers are excited about, because it's very, it seems to me that people developing extensions are very much like artists. They're really pouring themselves into it. They, at the end, it's like a painting that they love or a car that they've restored. They're really proud. And sure, they've got, people will walk by a restored car at a car show and say, oh, that's a really nice looking car. But if you go over and look at some little detail that someone's done, that's what the restorer really appreciates. So there's a lot of people that don't see that. And so they, and which is interesting because if just to use that illustration or example, if you're making a living restoring cars, the majority of people coming by that don't pay attention to those little details, they're not going to see the value, and they're not going to pay a lot of money for your restored car. And so you're in that situation where it's like, do I just not do as good a restoration and sell it for less because there's more people that will just pay for a generically restored car? Or do I really pour my passion and art into this and hope that I find someone that sees the value and will pay what it's worth? And the whole time while that's happening, you have the expenses of a shop and your time and eating and everything. But what's lost for many people in that is the emotional connection and value that's coming from not only your work, but from your craft in making that.
It's a craft.
Yeah, it's a craft. And so, and that's why it hurts so much when, the stuff, hey, it's fine. If I cut a lawn and I miss something along the edge and someone says you missed a spot, then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just go fix that. But if lawn cutting for me is a passion and I have to have it perfect every time, and someone says you missed a spot, you're stupid, then it really hurts, right? And
it really hurts.
yeah, so that's the world that's the world and life for extension developers, and I think it's important for people to understand that, and be mindful of that when they're interacting with them.
Yeah, and it not that the extension developers are I'm not sure how you call it, but not for getting a pity or something like that. Yeah. The first thing I said on tonight's broadcast was that all my extensions I use for myself as well.
Yeah.
So for me, if this extension building was my business, then I wouldn't be in business anymore.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't pay the bills. Mm-hmm. So my business, I built these extensions for myself, and I share them with others, but I don't share them for free because free is not really appreciative.
Yeah. And you should. And like I said earlier, I said it just for the chuckle too about the don't muzzle the ox that's treading out the grain. But there's a kindness to, when people work, they should enjoy it, right? It's so it's like, can you imagine just the picture of an ox that's hungry and working hard and isn't allowed to eat what's right in front of his face because he's just being whipped and used as that.
So what does make my chimney smoke? I'm not even sure if that's a Canadian saying, but it's for sure a Dutch saying, that the chimney is smoking, so the fire is on in my house.
Okay.
And I can afford to have the fire on in my house. Is that I do custom work, so people can hire me to do customizations to their site, or they are a web agency and they have a problem on their site and they are not skilled enough to find the issue. And that stuff I also really enjoy, but only doing and you see that also with other extension developers. There are some successful extension developers out there who can make a living of their extension, but all of them are also started to create or creating already extensions for other platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, that's really difficult. Because that would mean yet another investment.
Yeah.
Not 80 hours to create OCH blog for WordPress, but another 80 hours for understanding why WordPress works, how it works.
Yeah.
Or Drupal, or whatever other platform there is.
Yeah.
So what you see is that there is a risk in the extension for the extension developers, and then you can mitigate that in different ways. So how I mitigate is I stick loyal to Joomla because I do not want to invest in another platform. So Joomla is my go-to CMS, and I mitigate my risk by cutting my extensions that are not selling or that I'm not using myself anymore, so that I have less work maintaining them. But I could also say, okay, I'll mitigate the risk by also building up a market on another CMS, on WordPress, for example. And then when people stop buying my Joomla extensions, well, I don't mind, because my revenue now comes from WordPress.
No.
And you see that with Pasos, who is now growing a WordPress business. You see it with Akiba. You see it with AC Mailing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a sign on the wall. I think that we should all be aware of, because when Joomla loses extension developers, just the Joomla extensions, they always say do more with core, but I think that you can do less and less with Joomla when the extension developers leave.
Yeah. Now,
because there's not enough that you can do with core.
Yeah, and Rick Spawn in chat here, he's also a developer.
Yeah.
And you know him well because he's a countryman of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says we need a larger user base so developers are more likely to do Joomla development. Yeah, and that's in there. Although I will say one of those that you mentioned that's been going into WordPress has found it. It's a very cluttered space, and has not become, from what I understand, is not like a huge thing still for them after many years of trying. So because there is so much in WordPress. I mean, you just imagine when we look at the JED, and you know, every now and then on a live stream we'll take a look at the newest extensions that are released for the JED, and I think, you know, like it's great that people are learning how to make extensions and trying to sell them and doing that. That's how they grow. That's good. But there's a lot of extensions that will do the same thing. For instance, just use a slider, for example, an image slider. There's a lot of image sliders, and seems to be maybe one of the beginning ones that someone puts out in their first effort. And again, I'm not knocking that, because everybody starts out somewhere. I mean, if I go back to when I started my channel, there's not many people watching. I mean, it's not a huge community anyway, so there's still not that many people watching. But you have to start somewhere, and but
and
so
you decide. You need to decide: do I start my own channel or do I join an already existing channel?
Yeah.
So do I create my own extension, or do I use, because the functionality is already there?
But by going to WordPress, that's multiplied. I don't know, tenfold. I mean, I think there's is there 6 or 7 or 8,000 extensions on the JED. In WordPress is probably at least 10 times that. So that's a struggle too to go. The other thing too is age, right? I'm getting past the point to try to do new things. Where I'm at right now, it's like, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to take 5 years to build myself up in some other platform, and for what? 5 years I'll be 62, whereas if I had 30 years ahead of me, that I would probably change. I would probably change some of what I was. I would have more capacity to do more, but as I get older, I have less capacity to do what I'm doing. Right, so it's like, okay, I'm gonna cut back here.
That's the same for me. That's what I just said. When I also step into the WordPress market, then it will take extra time to learn that platform, and that's also an investment of which I say, well, I don't want to do that investment because I really don't like WordPress.
Yeah.
And for me, I really enjoy making extensions for Joomla because I love Joomla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So part of my pay is actually not in money, but is in the energy I get from the community, from people who are using my extensions. And when I only do it for the money, then I would probably start writing extensions for WordPress.
Yeah.
And as many as possible, and put some marketing company on it, or work with provisioning so people start selling it for me, etc., etc. Yeah. But that's not what makes my clock tick.
Your clock tick, that doesn't send smoke up your chimney, or in Canada, it doesn't float your boat. Alice says, even J3 extension still in the jet, still says okay, so buy, install, configure, only to find out, oh yeah, that doesn't work here. Here's your money back. What about my time, she says. Yeah, so that's... Yeah. All right, so we're talking about...
So it's not only a developer issue, it's also, call it a customer issue.
Yeah.
For people who are building websites for customers and then depend on the jet as a source of extensions, and then buy one, download one, figuring it out just to learn that it will never work. Yeah, that's really harsh. That's really harsh.
Yeah. Now, something else that you're passionate about, I think that you're still are, is you're involved with the Kunina community as well, developing the Kunina forum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I'm really happy about that, because Kunina is pretty much the go-to. Is it the only forum that works with Joomla core?
No, there are more, but those are commercial ones.
Okay. What are those? I can't even think of what their names would be.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe it's like Voldemort. Maybe we better not say it. But
no, I'm not sure what the names are, because I never look at them. No, I'm not sure what. But I've worked on Kunena. Because the main reason for me was a little bit selfish, and that was because I needed the Joomla 4 version, because without Kunena my site cannot migrate to Joomla 4.
Yeah.
So I put in a lot of effort, and I'm still committed to put in more effort, but I can only spend my time once.
Yeah.
So I either work on my own extension or I work on Kunena when I'm not working for a customer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that and that's the difficulty also for an open source community, that we're all volunteers.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
But Kunena absolutely rocks. So
it is really good. Yeah, it is really good, and it's good. But it also, some of the interfaces to other things. For instance, Community Builder works. Community Builder's got some nice connections to Kunina for setting that up, and yes, and for Kunina for 4, was that a rewrite? Did they rewrite that?
Yeah. From
scratch? Okay, yeah. That's
it was good. A lot of work what they've put in. That was a lot of work.
Yeah. All right. So if you had Valerie is leaving. See you later, Valerie. And she says, thanks, thank you very much to Ruud for the presentation. It's an exciting extension. Good. All right, so endless resources, endless energy. if you were going to do another extension, what would you do?
I really don't know.
You don't know, okay.
Because I'm currently at the point when you look at the at my own site, the Online Community Hub, but also I'm not sure if I still am I still sharing my screen?
Yes, you are. We got you off to the side.
Oh my God! Let's click that side away. No. You know, everything you see here is something that I created myself. So also the template, which is it's not a Cassiopeia.
Yeah, Cassiopeia.
This is a real Bootstrap template.
Yeah.
And it's called OCH Foundation, and there are only a few sites that have it, and those are my sites, because I'm not a template developer. But that was for me the last thing that I didn't build myself, a template.
Okay.
So now I did. And it comes with a module for these big sliders. It comes with the contact form, mind you, without CAPTCHA and no spam. It comes here with the testimonials. So I'm still looking at how do you market that. Etc. etc. So I'm not looking for more extensions, because I think I have already a lot. I'm actually looking for less extensions.
Yeah.
And all of these I still use myself. OCH ads not anymore, but I have a couple of customers who are still who are using that. Yeah, so I'm not looking for more extensions. No.
All right. So now Imran
out of creative ideas, and Tim managed to lure me into that paywall. But I didn't do that for Tim. I then decide, okay, that would be a useful extension that I could use myself for my own customers, their sites.
Yeah.
And then I built it. So I don't build that so that I have a new feature that I can sell. I build it because I'm going to use it myself.
Yeah, I think it is a really good feature though.
Yeah.
And I think secretly you did do it just for me. So
I did.
Imran asked if he can ask you a question. I just told him to go ahead and ask. So. We'll see what he types in there for the question, but
maybe that was the question.
Yeah, I don't know. So, I've been doing I'm doing support for PHP web design, especially with Migrating for their extension, and it really has. I mentioned this last week. The other day, I accidentally saw the number of emails back and forth that I've done since October, and it was around 1,200. So it's like, yeah, support is a lot, and that's mostly around one extension. Although there's been questions about a couple of them, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work for developers to be doing that, and it's also a lot of work to try to build a team if you're getting other people too, because you have that. You have that expectation of the kind of support people will get, or how they'll be treated, or being helpful, and you want people to. It's like when you're helping people. At least it's this way for me. It's like handing a baby over to someone else. You want it taken care of the way that you want it taken care of, and so sometimes it's, I mean, when we do. When we're helping people, we're using our full experience and knowledge to help and applying it, and then that hopefully allows us to relax and be kind to the people as well. But someone who is still learning or coming along or picking things up, they have not only they have less resources or experience, but they also have the pressure of trying to help, and then that can lead to some outcomes where things aren't very helpful at all. Allison just added another one. Doesn't make your tail wag. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that one. Not that I have a tail, but I have a dog.
Yeah. Okay, Imran's question was this. He was looking for the files or folders that provides file the include head of any Joomla template. Where can he find them?
I don't understand the
Path,
question.
yeah. I think in a file that says include head, where is the file that's head? In a template.
Yeah, that depends on the template itself. So it all starts with the index.php. That's your starting point, and that is what he should then follow and reason when he has an existing template. So that's you can develop that any way you want.
Okay. Yeah, I think he wants to probably edit the head, and he's wondering where to find it or do something. But Rick Spawn says he has to leave. Thanks for a great presentation, and thanks to me for hosting. So he's thanking you for the great presentation.
Fijne avond, Rick.
Yeah.
That was Dutch, by the way.
So yeah, no, I figured that it was.
I did not think I was calling you names. Like,
no, that's right. No, I figured that was
like
Dutch. That. I mean, you could swear right now, and I'd have no idea what you're saying. So
I could swear right now, and you still would be wagging your tail.
All right. Well, that's great. It's always nice to spend time with you. And let's see here. I'm going to go stop here. Stop participant sharing. And then we're big side by side. So hang around after while I wrap this thing up here. But let me just find my buttons that I'm going to be clicking on. I'll do better than last week. Last week I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, and then the screen just went black, and then I clicked the wrong button to try to get back. Anyways, it was fun. You should always stay around to the end, because the disaster's not over until it's over. Anyways, Ruud, thanks very much for coming on and showing that and setting that up for yourself. I'm sure that it's going to be very interesting for other people, and I hope that this video gets a lot of good traction here. Allison just asked something. How's the migration path on it? I think Allison might be a little bit behind on the stream. I don't know. The migration path. Oh, Imran says it's not in the include folder in the directory. Imran, I would download the whole site and to your computer, the whole install or whatever, and then just search. Using Visual Studio, search for something, search for head. Anyways, okay, Imran says he's going to call me by WhatsApp after. Yeah, that would be fine, Imran. Mary says, thanks for the thank you for your contributions to Joomla and to Kunina. I'm not sure what Allison's asking. How is the migration path on it? Just trying to think of what that... It might be, yeah, I don't know. Ivor says when he hears Dutch, it sounds like a mix of German, English, and Norwegian to him.
Ah, okay, cool.
And, all right.
So not a complete turn off.
Oh, Imran said he knew the location for 2.5, but after 3, the location may have changed. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Anyways, all right, Allison. I'm not sure. How is the migration path on it. I think you might be a little bit behind on the chat, so you're probably going to see this probably once it's gone.
Yeah, she's expecting me to move to Canada. Maybe that's the question.
No, well, you getting smoke from our wildfires over there?
Yep.
Yeah,
we did.
yeah. I saw that on the news.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop at the border, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Going to wrap things up there. Thank you very much, Ruud. Appreciate that. And I hope that I'm sure this will help a lot of people. Everybody, thanks for tuning in today. Thank you again for your support of this channel. And thanks for your online friendship and for joining me on another Wednesday. So as usual, I hope that wherever this finds you, be it morning, afternoon, evening, or tomorrow, that you are well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.